Hello, hello, hello. Hello, guys. Hello from Poland. Hello, Shines. Hello, AMD Racing. Let's go. We were waiting for the keynote with the Mrinal Manohar at IBM Think, so we are here to support him virtually. Please let me know if the sound, like the volume of the background noise, the music is okay. Is it too loud? What's the next? Scale the impact of generative AI with the trusted models, data, and governance.
Welcome to IBM Think 2024.
Using AI is one thing. Being strategic with it, another story. You need AI models tailored for your use case. A wide variety all in one place. A platform that helps you connect your data easily, where you can train and tune AI seamlessly. Governance for checking models? Yep, all good. Explaining them in a way that's just understood. Combine our expertise to make it all work as one. Now your teams can scale AI to everyone.
Please welcome Senior Vice President, Products, IBM Software, IBM, Dinesh Nirmal.
Good morning, Boston.
Let's go.
Are you ready for day two?
Yes.
What's the next stage? Day two is a lot more fun than day one. But excitement is real, folks. Excitement is real. My mom calls me yesterday. She's turning 80. She goes, IBM stock went up 2% yesterday, son. I said, really? I haven't looked at it yet. She goes, yeah, you guys made some generative AI announcements that made the stock go up. The only other time she calls me is to give me parenting advice, and she uses LLMs to do that. I'm not kidding. That's my mom. But it is real. It's real. If you look at the numbers, it tells you the excitement is real, because we are at the start of a technology revolution like never before that will change the way we work, we commerce, and we communicate. That is real. Look at some of these numbers, right? 7 to 10 trillion dollars added to the global GDP. Just to put that in context, that's double the GDP, yearly GDP of Germany. 1/3 the GDP of United States, and double the size of South American GDP. That is the excitement, that is the numbers, that's the impact we are looking at. But you know what? If you look at it, 45% of the companies and organizations are in POC or test mode. 45%. But even more staggering is the fact that only 10% of the enterprises has really embarked or gone into production with generative AI. So the excitement is real. Over the last 2 years, you have seen it. The amount of money, amount of focus, the governments that's going into creating models. You heard from the Saudi government. I mean, that is the kind of impact we have, but only 10%. Why is that? Because I want to take you through the complexity also that exists in infusing generative AI into enterprises. Because unless these companies have been born in the last 2 years, these infrastructure, the data, the applications, all that has been existing for decades. How do you infuse generative AI into it, and there are multiple professionals that has to come together and cohesively work to make it into production. So there's app developers, there's prompt engineers, there's compliance officers. All those folks have to come together to make it happen. But look at this. You have to take models. You know what? Hugging Face has 350,000 models. 350,000 models. Which model are you going to pick? 75,000 data sets. That's the reality. And once you take the model, how do you fine-tune it using the data? And once you fine-tune it, you have to deploy it. And not only that, you have to bring it into your existing infrastructure. You have to use a framework like a LangChain, Llama Index, or Haystack to build the applications. And once you build the application, how do you make sure it has the enterprise level of security? That is the challenge enterprises are grappling with. And for that, how do you simplify it? What do you need to eliminate the complexity and bring generative AI and be able to improve that 10% that you saw to 50 or 60%? What would it take? We have simplified it. You definitely need a platform. You need a platform where you can build, run, and manage. That's why we announced watsonx last year about how can you bring your data, how can you govern your models, how can you build and run. That is the most critical piece, a tightly integrated platform. That's what watsonx was built on. But there's another element, which is the culture, the grassroots. I mean, we ourselves are doing it. We are bringing generative AI into our development, engineering, to get the developers convinced and moving on using generative AI to write the 10,000 lines of code they couldn't write last year is what we need to do. So there has to be a grassroots efforts that needs to happen within every organization, a cohesive way to bring everybody together along with a platform. So I talked about the platform. I want to invite Ritika Gunnar, General Manager for Data and AI Product Management, on stage to talk about how we are building the platform, how we are differentiating, and talk about some of the new announcement that's coming. Let's go rock it. Thank you.
Hi, it's great to be here today. Well, last year at this conference, we introduced watsonx, which is our data and AI platform built for business with 3 components. watsonx AI, which is our studio to work with foundation and machine learning models. watsonx Data, which is our open, hybrid, and governed data lakehouse. And watsonx Governance, which provides trust and transparency to manage and govern AI. It has been an incredible year. And since last year, we have completed thousands of client projects and earned hundreds of references across various industries all around the world. And we've worked with hundreds of technology and ecosystem partners, many of you here. These are just a few examples of some of those logos. Now, in the next few minutes, we'll share how the watsonx platform has evolved to help our clients move from pilots to essential production-ready AI systems by focusing on accelerating how enterprises work with AI, simplifying access to data for customization of generative AI, and finally, helping enterprises govern and manage their AI. So let's start with how we're making enterprise generative AI more accessible in watsonx AI. Over 80% of organizations today are using a multi-model approach to ensure that they have the right model for the right use case. Now, as you can see from our model library here, we aim to offer the most extensive model flexibility in the market. We provide various open source and commercial models. We even support bringing your own model. Now, a recent update also includes Meta Llama 3, which builds on our collaboration with Meta to advance OpenAI. Now, we allow you to use these models either out of the box, or we help you customize these models with your data on our platform. We even help you pick the right model for your particular use case. Now, moving on, as you heard yesterday, we have now open sourced our most advanced and our most performant Granite large language models. This includes our English and our code models. We're going to make these available in our model library in addition to the existing Japanese and multilingual models that are already available. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about these models. We train them from the ground up, working closely with our Chief Privacy Officer and our AI Ethics Board to ensure the integrity, the trust, and the governance is in at every step of our building process. Now, these models are not just trusted, they are performant. Here's a view of our state-of-the-art code models, which consistently match the performance among popular open source code large language models. And they do so at almost half their size. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Now, we're also excited to announce a partnership with Mistral AI, where we'll bring their commercial models to our watsonx AI platform, both on premises and in the IBM cloud, joining their open source models we already have with Mistral. This includes the versions of Mistral Large, one of the leading AI models in the market today. In addition, we're also excited to announce the immediate availability of Alam, an open Arabic large language model from Sadaya, which demonstrates our commitment to open innovation in AI models, partnering with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, models are just the start to become a Gen AI first company. True growth comes from empowering the AI application developer. And that's why today I'm excited to announce a new AI developer toolkit in private preview that simplifies building Gen AI flows. This toolkit reduces the skills needed for any developer to become a Gen AI developer. Our intuitive AI developer toolkit features frameworks, flow engines, templates, and tools to empower developers to easily create powerful enterprise-grade applications from day one. It offers a seamless way to build, to run, and to manage generative AI. Now, most common generative AI patterns involve enhancing the large language model with data and additional tools so that you can drive the right outcome. As an example, all of us know retrieval augmented generation, or RAG as we lovingly call it, is an important pattern to solve for data recency and relevancy. Now, to build a RAG application, you need to access your data, you need to chunk that data, you need to vectorize it, and then you need to have similarity search somewhere embedded on your LLM. This process can be quite cumbersome, iterative, and error-prone in general. And so for an application developer, this can be quite cumbersome. With our AI developer toolkit, you can implement a RAG pattern with just a few simple lines of code. No expertise needed. You can easily even customize these using our templates that we have. Now, once deployed, you have full observability into each query execution, and you have the tooling at your disposal to investigate performance issues. You also have access to several metrics for each inference call for both performance that you see here and evaluation that you see here. And just like that, our AI developer toolkit in watsonx AI, you can build, run, and manage AI applications on top of a solid enterprise-grade foundation. Now, we all know that good AI begins with good data. Last year at Think, we announced watsonx Data, our fit-for-purpose data lakehouse that helps organizations unify and enrich their analytical data, scale their AI workloads, doing so with optimal price performance. watsonx Data is comprised of commodity cloud object storage, open table formats like Apache Iceberg, and multiple query engines, including our interactive SQL query engine based on open source Presto, which accelerates insights by eliminating data silos and delivers optimal price performance. Since last year, we've been focused on improving data access and integrations across the portfolio. We've incorporated the Milvus vector database into watsonx Data to support those RAG use cases you saw. We've added support for Datagate to unleash mainframe data. And finally, we added a Gen AI-infused semantic layer for better data discovery and analytics using natural language. Today, we're excited to announce the upcoming addition of a new query engine, Presto C++, and additional query optimization capabilities within watsonx Data. Leveraging these technologies, we've been able to deliver better price performance than other leading vendors with equal query runtime at less than 60% of the cost. It's quite fantastic. Now let's talk about how to prepare and deliver trusted data for AI. One major challenge in scaling AI is getting the right data to the right users. Well, today, I'm excited to announce IBM Data Product Hub in private preview. This cutting-edge solution enables seamless, safe, and governed sharing of data products for AI within an organization. Our IBM Data Product Hub enables you to easily connect to a variety of different data sources to create new data products. Here, you can see a variety of different assets, including what we have for our lakehouse, watsonx Data. Reusable data products are also essential for AI builders. Empower your data consumers to effectively discover and reuse governed data in various sources like watsonx Data for their AI and data-driven use cases. Now, you can even discover and access all your curated data with detailed metrics on quality, on access, and the state of your different data products. This allows you to have a holistic view of how your data products are used across your enterprise. Pretty powerful, right? Now, let's move to the need for enterprise governance. It's no surprise that most organizations are still experimenting with generative AI projects, citing risks including bias, hallucinations, and lack of trust and transparency in how decisions are being made. Another challenge is navigating the ever-changing landscape, like the recent EU AI Act, which is the world's first comprehensive AI law, where companies could face fines of up to 35 million euros for non-compliance. We built watsonx Governance to help our clients build responsible and transparent AI, putting governance into the heart of the Gen AI lifecycle. And we heard you. Since its availability late last year, we've added the ability to govern your models wherever they are with flexible deployment options. We believe this is truly game-changing. As an example, today we're excited to announce the integration of watsonx Governance with Amazon SageMaker. Let's take a look. In our console, you can easily map policies and metrics and other data for models that reside in Amazon SageMaker. Here, you see a particular model from SageMaker and its status and characteristics in the watsonx Governance console. You can easily manage and assess your model risk. Here, you can see a new use case that we're creating, and it needs evaluating for corporate risk. It's a credit card fraud transaction, or credit card fraud use case, and you can see that through the process, it's been marked at a medium risk level. You can also see at the bottom here that this use case needs to adhere to the EU AI Act. So now that we have this together, we can simply put the details and submit that for regulatory review. You can see more details here of what's being submitted, and again, you can see at the bottom here, this is for the EU AI Act. Now, take a look at your dashboard, and as you take a look at your dashboard, you can review the governance, the risk and compliance activities. You can see how they align to your organization's existing procedures. These tailored dashboards and reports and automated collaborative tools give you insights into the state of the risk across your organization. And now you can manage your models across your enterprise with that trust and transparency. I hope you share our excitement about these announcements. We're truly focused on making Gen AI more scalable and more accessible for you and your organization. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dinesh and our clients to discuss how they're making Gen AI real for the enterprise. Thank you.
Wow, a lot of great announcements. I expect a call from my mother tonight, assuming the price goes up. So look, we talked about the 10%. I want to bring those 10% enterprises, companies that is deploying generative AI at scale on stage. We have 4 customers, starting with Howie Liu, who is the CEO of Airtable, Mrinal, who's the CEO of CasperLabs, Elias Zamora, who is the Chief Data Officer for Sevilla FC, and we also have our VP of Engineering, Thomas from Bolt. Please welcome all 4 of them. Hey, Elias. Thomas, I'll start with you. Talk to us about Bolt. I mean, I took Bolt in Europe, so I have an experience to explain, but we'll start with what does Bolt do? I mean, obviously, it's number 2 in ride-hailing apps. I mean, if you take Didi out. So, but it's an amazing 4 to 5 petabytes of data, and Ritika talked about the data and the price performance. Like, I mean, tell us about Bolt.
Sure thing. I guess the easiest is it's the Uber version in Europe. So we don't operate here, so you probably haven't heard about us, but ride-hailing, food delivery, car sharing, scooters, e-bikes. We operate in 45 countries, 500 plus cities. We're from a tiny country, Estonia. And yeah, we have a lot of data, and it's ever growing.
You have some Estonians here, you know, so. But what data challenges do you have? Like, I mean, you know, obviously at that scale, we talked about, I mean, obviously with what's next data, but what challenges do you have with data?
So our story here is that our architecture was a very like monolithic data lake. And then we started a migration to what's next data. And what changed for us was that very many things we were struggling with, we just got with the platform. So workload isolation, data governance, and I guess the most important part was just having the confidence that the what's next data scales really well with our growth.
Awesome, awesome. Elias, we have Dr. Elias here, who is the CDO for Sevilla FC. I know how to trigger Elias. All I have to say is, in America, we call it soccer.
This is something that is kind of problematic in Europe.
It's football.
It is football, it is football.
So I had opportunity to be with Elias where we announced Scout Advisor. I didn't know what a tank striker was until Elias explained. It's a forward in soccer. The scouts write these names as tank, what is it called?
Tank center forward.
Tank center forward. So, but anyway, we won't get into that. But so tell us more. I mean, you know, you're using Watson X, and you announced Scout Advisor in Barcelona. I mean, like, are you seeing the uptake with other sports clubs also, now that you're a pioneer in this space?
So at least we make a lot of noise with the use of generative AI and Watson X in the football industry. This is something very important. I will tell you something about Sevilla FC and how we are using technology. So Sevilla FC is a football club, not a soccer club. It's a football club.
Got it.
Pretty successful, 130 years old, successful in Europe. We won in the last 30 years 7 Europa Leagues, it's not bad. And the key point of this success was scouting. Scouting is nothing more than identifying talent. Then this was our main key point in the success of the club. In the last 5 years, we decided that technology and data had to be also a point. When we put technology, data, and scouting, appear Scout Advisor. But why appear Scout Advisor? No? Because it's very important in football. Because you cannot identify just talent, doesn't matter the field, football also, based on numbers. You have to identify, performance numbers are okay, it's important of course, but you have to identify also talent based on human opinions, expert human opinions. No? The human resources officers here, they know it very well. And Sevilla SC has the biggest human resources or expert opinion in football in the football industry. So near 1 million reports of football players that potentially can be part of Sevilla SC. And we needed to use this knowledge in order to identify talent, to identify players. There came IBM, there came Sevilla FC and the data department, and came the University of Sevilla in order to make a Scout Advisor. A Scout Advisor, what it does, you just query what kind of player do you want, the generative AI make it magic, and understand, for example, what is the meaning of a tank center forward. It is a strong guy that can play well with the head, can stop the defense, and then look in your million of reports in which of them appear these kind of properties. So in such a way that finally you have number of players that can really be identified according to what you're looking for, but based on human knowledge, expert human knowledge that is in football. But before this kind of technologies was on X, generative AI, LLMs could not be used properly. So we are using technology in order to unlock human knowledge.
Talk about a customer who has deployed it on Watson X and using generative AI. I mean, amazing story. Amazing story. And how many countries do you go after talent? I mean,
there's all the main leagues, so near 40, 50 countries all over the world, all over all the continents. So football is global.
Yeah, we got it. Howie, before we get started, how did you come up with Airtable, the name?
Well, you know, we tried to buy Table.com and it was too expensive.
So you came up with Airtable?
Airtable, yeah, and never looked back.
So so tell the audience, what does Airtable do? And also, I mean, you're also using Watson X for generative AI. I mean, you know, tell us why and what Airtable does.
For sure. So I founded Airtable in 2012 with a very simple vision, which was empower the people closest to the work in every company to build the apps around their data, their workflows, to power their day-to-day. So if you're a marketer, you can build your own app. If you're a product manager, you can build your own app to track product roadmaps, et cetera. And we've consistently executed against that vision over the past more than decade. I think what's really exciting now with AI is that if you think about AI not just as a technology that we consume as a single customer, but also something that we can offer to our customers. So we have 50 million apps that have been created by these citizen developers that are close to the work. Over half of the Fortune 500 as paid customers. We can empower all of those people and all of those enterprises to now build with the trust, the scalability, and the cost effectiveness of Watson X on top of our platform, which has the agility and the rapidity of no code, right? So we think it's more than just us as a consumer of Watson X, which we are, but also being able to now offer this to all of our customers, to all of our builders. It's really exciting.
I mean, you have built an amazing platform. I mean, it's so easy to go build apps using your platform.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Minutes, hours, you can sign up today.
Right, I did. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Did your mom get you too?
Last night, huh?
Did your mom get you too?
No, she hasn't. you got to convince her. As long as it's free, I think she'll sign up.
Yeah. We'll give her a discount.
Hey, but one thing that you mentioned yesterday that kind of stood out to me, why Watson X, why IBM? You brought the trust angle in.
Yeah.
Tell us more about the trust aspect, because I thought that was pretty phenomenal what you told me.
So I've spent a lot of the past few years, transitioning from being a product-led growth company CEO to one that's very enterprise-focused. And in doing so, I've spent a lot of time with the enterprise C-suite of Fortune 500s, and kind of gone and visited many campuses. Spent time with CEOs, with CIOs, et cetera. And what I see is this massive gap, as we've talked about today. There's all of this excitement, and I think it's real. It's because there's real AI value to be extracted. And then yet there's a gap in terms of what actually companies are realizing in terms of the means. And to me, that gap is driven by two parallel issues. One is, actually go and operationalize AI, right? And I think we can help with one part of that. I think the other is trust. And there's just this understandably massive amount of concern around the safety issues, the models, their capabilities and performance. And so I think having the trust of IBM and both the long-standing reputation that IBM has with enterprise and with trust, not to mention leading models and a really great platform story around watsonx. I think that helps to bridge a huge, huge gap in enterprise. And then we hope to complete the final mile of actually enabling these AI-powered apps to be operationalized.
Well, thank you. Great. Mrinal, to you, I mean, obviously, another success story with watsonx.gov on the governance side with blockchain, which is very, very unique. I mean, that's why we wanted you on stage, is because being able to bring blockchain with generative AI, use governance, an amazing story. Tell audience about what CasperLabs does and also how you're using blockchain in this.
Yeah, thanks, Dinesh. CasperLabs, for those of you who don't know us, builds enterprise and industrial grade blockchain infrastructure and applications. So you won't hear me talking about pictures of apes or canines. Before I talk about why blockchain specifically, let's give some industry context. I don't need to convince anyone here about the unbounded enthusiasm around AI applications, but that's come with unbounded risk. The industry is in its GDPR moment. Legislation is coming. Everywhere you look, there's lawsuits like New York Times suing OpenAI, for example. And AI governance is now an essential part of the AI tech stack, and it's actually going to accelerate usage and not slow it down. Blockchain brings three things to the table that a regular database doesn't. First, it's completely tamper-resistant and transparent. Hundreds of validators, tens of thousands of delegators validate every single imprint, so you have an end-to-end trace that is completely tamper-resistant. Second, it's fully time-synced, unlike a database that desyncs when you want to maintain ACID properties. And then finally, with databases, you're beholden to SQL, which is just an input-output language. Whereas on blockchain, you're Turing complete, meaning sophisticated access control, sophisticated data control, and security are all possible. And right now, I'd love to announce in front of you guys for the first time, we're launching a product in Q3 called Prove AI, which we built in collaboration with IBM. It'll set a new standard in AI governance, which will integrate seamlessly with the watsonx platform. We're mega excited about it. If you want to join us on this journey of state-of-the-art AI governance, talk to us or people from IBM as well. You guys have been wonderful partners.
Awesome, awesome. Wonderful. All right, folks, I mean, thank you for taking the time. I mean, obviously, it's about scaling AI. I mean, this is all about, I mean, you are in the 10%. You have taken generative AI to next level. In 10 seconds, what would it take to scale? Tomas, I'll start with you.
I think it's about finding the right places first where to use generative AI to have actually a lift in the business. So that's where I feel the pressure, like finding those spots. And through IBM's offerings, it's so easy to experiment. So
wonderful. Thanks, Thomas. What about you, Hao?
I think it's empower the builder with trust and agility. We've been running workshops with our builders, big companies represented coming to our workshops and learning how to prompt engineer and build with AI, and equipping them with the trust of watsonx plus the agility of our platform has actually yielded really interesting breakthrough results in the span of a day. So trust and agility, that's where you get the value.
What about you, Elias?
Locally speaking, thinking locally, I think I completely agree with Thomas, is the use case. The technology is so disruptive that the use case is fundamental to know what problem do you want to solve. But thinking globally, the situation is so disruptive. So I was speaking yesterday with some people here. 100 years ago, we had the Solvay conferences. They were Einstein, Marie Curie, Poincaré, Planck, all these big scientists realizing that the quantum and the relativity has appeared, and this was going to change everything. This was the 20th century, the century of physics. I think that what we are feeling now is exactly the same, but with AI and similar technology. So we are now realizing that the disruption is so big that we are in the AI, probably in the AI century. So what we have in front of us, we can just guess. So probably we will live very exciting things.
And what about you, Mrinal?
I think in general, people drive faster when they have seatbelts on. And I think what's really going to scale the industry is building those incredible seatbelts, knowing that you're compliant with the EU AI Act, compliant with ISO 42001 in a really transparent, rigorous manner. And it's just exciting. It gets me out of bed every day to know that, in collaboration with IBM, we're building those seat belts. Gets me up in the morning every day, gets me on stage with a broken arm, couldn't ask for more.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Elias. Thank you, Mrinal. Thank you. I mean, you heard from the 10% what it takes to scale Gen AI in enterprises. And that's the reality. I mean, I think Elias put it really well. This is the century of generative AI. This is going to be called AI century. Now, what does it take, right, to really scale it? It starts all with data, and Ritika brought the data and the platform, the work that we are doing on the data side, but it's all about deployment. The last mile of that journey will only happen when you deploy it. If you don't deploy it, it doesn't matter. So from data to deployment. But now, for you to go learn more about all the announcements that Ritika mentioned, it's exciting, folks. Let's go to the expo hall. Let's hear about it. Let's see it in action. That's my call to action. Thank you.
So what do you think? What do you think, guys? What do you think? Type in the comments. What do you think about this cooperation? This officially announced by the Mrinal Manohar himself at IBM Think 2024. What do you think about this cooperation? Tell me in the comments. Are you bullish? Are you bullish enough? Like, I got a call from Mrinal a couple days ago, maybe it's 1 week ago. So he told me that if people think that like 700, 800,000 deploys made by the Fatso family dApp, it's big. Just wait for the AI governance, this proof AI product built together with the IBM, because it's gonna bring a lot more deploys to the Casper network. And it's confirmed by Mrinal himself on the Telegram group that every deploy, every information saved on the blockchain will need CSPR token, right? So together with the Condor update and this product, we could see surge of the number of deploys on the Casper network. So I'm waiting for that. I'm very bullish, and I'm happy that Mrinal is fully focused on this product, because this one product could bring a lot of more money, like revenue, and then any other cooperation. So in the last couple of years, they've built a lot of proof of concept, and I think they will succeed with this one product that they can scale in a software as a service manner. So that's my insight, and that's my comment to this announcement. Tell me what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching. And see you guys on the Telegram group, and see you guys in 6 days on the